This week on Lunchbox Envy, it was the first meal eaten on the moon.
The Norse gods had a magical pig called Imnir that provided unlimited amounts of it.
And in Indiana, there used to be a special lottery with scented tickets in which you could win a 20-year supply.
Oh.
It's bacon! Hello and welcome to Lunchbox Envy. I'm Alex and I'm here with my fellow QI elves, Jack and Manu. Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Can I just make a confession straight out the bat?
Yeah,
I don't really like bacon and I don't really eat bacon.
Ooh.
I know.
No, I'm slightly with you, Alex. I think it's very overhyped. And for me, it's incredibly salty. And I don't think I'm a fan of the smokiness. Obviously, you can get unsmoked and unsmoked.
I mean, you're sounding pretty salty right now,
Come on
Jack.
to that.
Oh.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'd always take a sausage for breakfast. People rave about the smell, don't they? So much.
Yeah.
I love it. As a born Muslim in a Muslim
Yes.
family, that was the one food I was like, I fucking know that's good. I can smell it. And then when I first tried it, I was like, oh my God, it is as good as I thought it was going to be. And it's the only pig product my mum misses, apparently. She's like, doesn't really care, but bacon and like a bacon sarnie.
So she converted to Islam.
Yeah. So she's tried it. She
Got
has
it.
tasted the devil's meat.
Yeah.
So, bacon, what is it and where does it come from?
Yeah, it's usually from the back or the belly.
Oh, sorry. You
Which
actually
part
were.
of the
Oh,
pig?
yeah,
Okay,
which
yes.
section?
So where we need to, where
Yeah.
as in, it comes from pigs, but where on the pig does it come
Yeah,
from
but all-
and which country does it come
Yeah.
from?
Okay, so it's also not necessarily from pigs. But the bacon I think we're going to talk about today is pork bacon. Bacon kind of refers specifically to a cut of meat that's particularly fatty.
Okay.
So on the pig, it normally comes from, the back or the belly. And depending on where you cut it from, it will make different kinds of bacon.
Is that where the name comes from? Bacon? It's like bacon.
Exactly.
Nailed it.
Yeah, the early 14th century, bacon comes from the Old French bacon and also Proto-Germanic bacon, which is literally back meat. So it is in the name.
I don't know about you, but there's not much meat on my back.
You're not shaped very much like a pig, though.
No, that's true.
You also don't have trotters.
For listeners at home.
Famously quite fatty.
Yeah, well,
pigs.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and also commercially, you want to fatten up all your livestock. So they're probably more fatty than they would be in the wild.
That's a really good point I'm going to write down. I'm slowly gathering this material for a cannibalism episode I really want to do one day. And I actually found quite a lot this week, but that's a really good question is what would a human look like if it was bred
Yes.
like for eating?
Well, as in centuries of
Centuries of
crossbreeding
breeding,
and,
because we have made these fucking weird square boxy cows and
mutant
huge
chickens and
spherical
stuff, yeah.
chickens that can't fly and
we're
stuff.
supposed to taste like pork.
Yeah, apparently we do taste like pork, and the sources for that are based on historical records from times of sort of horrific wars and cults and stuff where people have reported and actually tried it, but then also analysis of the chemical composition of people.
Okay.
And in 2006, there was a project where scientists developed a robotic taste tester that
Okay,
was designed to identify the flavor profiles in food using like electrical sensors. And like one of them like jokingly tested it on his own skin, and the robot was like bacon. And it did based on like the electrical conductivity and the salt content. So we might not actually taste like bacon, but like we look like we taste like bacon based on our ingredients.
So, but there are different kinds of pork bacon.
Uh-huh.
So the basic types are back. So
Which comes from the back.
Yeah, so it's the one that's really popular in the UK. It's the one that we've been frying up today. It's like a big, chunky, medallion-y bit and then the little tail at the end. And then
Kind of looks like Austria, if you can picture Austria.
Yes.
Thanks for useful. No one else knows what Austria looks like.
Well, now we know.
That's actually, sorry, this is maybe really stupid, but I've never thought about how the slice comes out of an animal. I've always, in my
Yes,
mind,
okay.
subconsciously thought you sort of slice it lengthways off. Whereas actually, it's more like slices of bread off the back.
It's like the spines through
Yeah,
here.
it's half of
And
the
then you
top
get-
of a back.
Exactly.
So it's like you might get left-handed or right-handed
Exactly,
bacon,
yeah.
basically.
Wow. And then there's streaky, which is the American favourite. It's the one with like loads of lines. So that's taken from the belly.
And it's
which
much
is
more like
fatty.
uniform in terms of its geometry. It's more like Chile.
Oh, wow. It's,
What
yeah.
the country?
Yeah. It's like a bookmark or something.
Yeah.
I use only streaky bacon for my bookmarks.
And then there's a medallion,
Oh, yeah.
which is back bacon, but basically all the tasty bits chopped off. So it's like they've taken the fat off and also that tail. So it's like a kind of perfect whoop
And that looks a lot like the island of Barbados.
I'm going to build Jack a bacon map of the world for his birthday.
That's so
That's
cute.
lovely. And then you have chops, which is also back bacon, but it's just thicker slices.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess what distinguishes pork from bacon, as far as I found in my research, it's cured. So
Yeah.
it's basically salted and often smoked, but you don't have to the point where it can last for a long time, right?
And what is smoking?
When you smoke bacon, you sort of leave it to hang whilst you light a fire under it. So it's cold smoked, so it's not like...
So it's not being cooked, but it's
Yeah,
like...
exactly. It's not been cooked. But I think what differs...
It's what happens when you stand out in a smoking area for too
exactly,
long.
yeah. You get
Exactly.
lightly smoked. But I think what defines bacon and distinguishes it from ham or salami, for instance, is that you can't eat it raw. Whereas with ham and salami, you can eat them raw. Salami hasn't been cooked, it's just been extra cured. So you can eat it raw.
Yeah.
Right.
And ham has been cooked and salted.
But does then not curing, it's not kind of cooking then?
So
by definition?
there are types of bacon. So this is one of the things I was convinced Dutch people ate raw bacon and they were all going to die.
Yeah.
And then I realised it's because theirs is super duper smoked. So that is actually cooked and you can eat that without cooking it further.
Yeah.
One of the things I did find out about how it's made is there are two ways to cure bacon. So one is a like dry rub.
Uh-huh.
The other one is wet, so like in brine, or you inject it with salty water. And that's what all of the weird white stuff coming off of your sizzling bacon is.
Oh, it's just salty,
it's
salty
just
water.
like the wet brine.
Check out your the water content on the backs of your packet of bacon because they do vary quite a lot.
Yeah.
On Dutch bacon, it's called speck. And Specsavers, the British opticians, were opening a branch in the Netherlands in 1997.
Yeah.
And they just went through with it, even though they were told, like, this means bacon savers. And they're like, yeah, well, we'll lean into it. And so now there are a few branches in the Netherlands called Specsavers.
Nice, that's quirky. I have a really weird segue on the word speck and short-sightedness. In medieval Germany, bats were believed to love bacon.
Bats love bacon.
And in some dialects, in some German dialects, they were even called speckmaus, which literally means bacon mouse.
Oh, I love that.
And there is a story, it's a bit of a legend, but like there are a few sources for it. In the 19th century, some German naturalists tested this out by basically capturing some bats and putting them on a bacon-only diet. And they all died of starvation.
That's so fun.
Do we know who first made bacon?
So we think it was from China 3,500 years ago. They made a kind of salted, brined, preserved pork belly. And then the Romans were like, this is amazing. And then other countries started making it similarly. And it was a really important peasant food across Europe because
it's cheap.
pigs are easy to keep.
All the like quote-unquote peasant dishes like carbonara all have bacon in.
And it lasts a really long time. Without refrigeration is really
pre-refrigeration.
important. Exactly.
I actually didn't know whether we, like which pigs we eat, males versus females. It turns out that we do eat both, but if we eat female pigs, they tend to be at the end of their breeding life.
Okay.
So they'll probably be older and their meat will be tougher and leaner. And so they'll probably be used in more processed products. So maybe not so much bacon. The male pigs, we also only eat castrated versions. And this is because of something called taint. Have you heard of taint?
I have not. Not in this context.
Strap in, it's disgusting. So like boar taint is this very like unpleasant odor or taste that can appear like in the meat that comes from uncastrated male pigs. There's mainly two compounds that cause it. It's androstenone, which is a sex hormone, and scatol, which is it's a byproduct. It's a byproduct of the digestion. It builds up fat, so it's sperm and it's poo.
Perfume making, some people use scatol as a note, and it like for some reason it's amazing, but that is the poopy smell.
Really?
I guess it's a little bit like the beaver glands and
castor
thing. Like it's disgusting on the one hand, but if you use it in the right way, it can be really bad.
And with Parmesan cheese, smelling of vomit, in context, it's
But what's really interesting about boar taint is that not everyone can detect it. Like about 50% of people have a version of a specific olfactory receptor gene called OR7D4.
okay.
And if you have that, you're sensitive to androstenone.
Wow.
Yeah, probably none of us have it. Oh, I don't know. It might be. Basically,
I read somewhere that it's more in women.
Yeah, I think more women have it than men. Yeah, definitely. People who have it will find the smell absolutely revolting. Whereas everyone else, they either can't smell it at all or they might actually find it slightly sweet and perfumed as a smell. So I guess maybe there is a way of like weakening it down for people.
Maybe your dislike of bacon comes from...
Oh, maybe
Well, this is the thing, the pork industry just avoids uncastrated male because it's not worth risking people not liking your bacon because you could turn someone off for life, or you get a lot of people thinking you got bad bacon. So as a result, it's not everywhere. You can find it in some places, but
I really
most of the time, male pigs are
I see.
castrated before eaten, and then they're trying to eliminate it with breeding programs to try and get rid of it entirely. It's really interesting. Okay, it is time for our first lunchbox, and that is Jack.
I have brought you guys a bacon milkshake.
Ooh.
Yeah, here it is.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh, it's got a lovely little bit of
Jack.
bacon in it.
Of course. I was looking into bacon mania and I managed to find all sorts of products, and one of them that I could find is some bacon syrup for use in cocktails. And it's made in Liverpool.
Like the Titanic. Two greatest disasters.
Oh, God.
And it's 58% sugar, so it's pretty suited to a milkshake.
Okay, should we do it together? There's 3 straws here.
Just like Friends.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Oh, God, it's so tangy. I like, you taste the vanilla and you're like, and then the bacon hits in.
Oh, yeah, it comes in waves. I'm getting like,
It's
bacon.
horrible.
Ooh, nice. Ooh, bacon.
Whoa.
I mean, if I liked bacon, I kind of think maybe it would be okay.
But yeah, so basically, as anyone who'll have been on the internet in the last 10 years, 20 years has noticed, bacon mania arrived in around 2000 and like the mid-noughties, 2005, maybe 2003, depending on who you talk to. And it's just this kind of almost fetishization of bacon. And because America's like the ultimate capitalist country, it's bled into all sorts of bacon products. So I managed to find bacon A's, mayonnaise and bacon, fairly common.
Classic.
Bacon salt, again, kind of, interesting. Bacon gum. So like chewing gum, but bacon flavoured.
No.
Bacon plasters.
Wait, what?
So
Well, bacon does look like plasters.
exactly.
Who wants that?
Well, I don't know. Bacon toilet paper.
Okay.
Doesn't smell of bacon, just looks like bacon.
That's
Again,
fun. I like that.
a bacon bra, which isn't for commercial sale, I
Wait,
noticed.
like
but someone weaved a bacon lattice and then put them on their breasts and like tied a little bow.
Why didn't you make that your lunchbox?
Well, I didn't have time. Maybe, in the coming week. And a bacon alarm clock that wakes you up with the smell of sizzling bacon.
No,
which is
I looked about this. I
essentially-
saw this one,
It's
yeah.
a tease made, which we
It
mentioned in the
was,
teaser
yeah.
episode. It's like the American version of a tease made.
Well, there were two that I saw. So the
Oh,
original one was called the Wake and Bacon. It was built in 2009 by a design student in San Francisco called Matty Selin, and it was just like an alarm clock with a drawer that you put the bacon in, and so it cooked actual bacon for you, which is just like the teas makes. It makes tea.
Right.
I think he tried to take it to production, but food's obviously failed all the food safety regulations.
yeah.
Actually, you
And
can't
fire
cook
safety,
old bacon by your bed.
He went on Shark Tank, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did you see? Yeah.
Then there was a later one that Oscar Mayer, the company, released called in 2014 called Wake Up and Smell the Bacon, which was an iPhone attachment. So I think it plugs into your
Wow.
iPhone and it's like a diffuser and it would put out the smell of bacon in the morning,
Oh, wow.
which is a classic way to wake up. And I will say, again, someone who doesn't like bacon, I do love to be woken up by the smell of bacon.
Interesting.
Okay, wow.
I read an article by Sarah Heppeler, which was written in 2008, so sort of as bacon mania was reaching a peak. And she was trying to analyse why it was getting so popular. And I do think it's linked to the internet.
The financial crash.
No, I think it is A, very American, and B, like the internet. If you're making a bacon bra in like 1995, it's not going to go anywhere, right? It might make the local press. And these days, it's quite hard to impress someone with something like that.
Yeah.
But in the early days of the internet, it was like, you remember all those I Can Has cheeseburger memes? It was so like such a low bar to make people laugh.
Yeah, and
so-
I think there's no friction now. There's so much stuff that, like making a bacon bra, you do it in the past, you get sectioned, whereas now you find a kink community and make
that's so
millions
true.
online. Like, there's no barrier to finding other freaks like you.
But she was like, it's decadent, it's brash, it's basically a big fuck you to healthiness, and it's kind of represents religious freedom freedom in a sort of a way, because there was quite a lot of anti-Islam sentiment since 9/11. So that's a sort of dark side, but it is untied to any nationality. Like a cheese,
It's American. It's very American.
So American.
like brie is universally delicious, but it's very French. Whereas bacon is like,
That's true. That's true.
It's kind of transcends borders.
Isn't it just silly? It's like beans.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like cheeseburger. Like basic food is funny because it's so like animalistic, I guess.
And it's kitsch. It's like there's nothing highfalutin. It's not very posh. You know, it's almost tacky, and it's recognisable. That's why you can make bacon toilet roll, and everyone's like, "This is such a novelty." You know,
in my mind, that era, that's when food pornography took off. Food porn, because those famous M&S adverts came out, the famous Marks and Spencer adverts. That was like, this is not just a yogurt. This is a smooth, creamy boysenberry. And then like there'd be these shots of like sultry spoon like going into an incredibly thick creamy chocolate. Everyone was like, why am I so turned on by M&S adverts?
And then at the start of the 2010s, there was also a bacon-themed dating app.
For pigs or for humans?
No, for humans. And it was called Sizzle with just like SIZZL. And it was made by Oscar Mayer, who are one of the big bacon manufacturers in the USA.
Also made the bacon clock.
Also made the bacon clock. So they're quite good at innovating. And by by all accounts, this app was quite, like, it worked quite well. It had a like inbuilt chat function. It only lasted about 6 months. But yeah, there was a journalist called Emma Lord managed to match with Lamorne Morris, you know, the actor from New Girl, I know from Game Night. On this app. And then he came in to do a little interview with them. Check it out on YouTube.
That's crazy.
Very nice.
So yeah, I mean, it was obviously a marketing ploy, but it seems to, you know, actually function. And you signed up and you had to sort of say which sort of types of bacon you liked. And then actually you had quite a good function. Instead of swiping, you sort of pressed on a yes button, and then the amount of time you held it for was like your sizzle rating.
Oh, that's
so
good.
you
That's
could
clever.
like give them a mediocre half-cooked one, or you could like be like sizzling. I also found a thing called the bacon race, which is not an ethnic group, but the Great American Bacon Race. It's basically a 5K race organised by bacon enthusiasts, and there are various prizes. I think the winner of each age group gets a golden pig. And then there's free bacon tasting. It's basically sponsored by the bacon industry.
This is in America, right?
In America, yeah. In fact, they're all in Florida. I think there's one in
Yeah, of course they are.
there's one in Georgia and Atlanta, but they're all in the southeast.
Do you know that some of the 5Ks are accompanied by a 0.05K for quote unquote people who really love bacon?
I did see that. And then there's like a virtual race where you can like do it from the comfort of your own home.
But there are quite a few foodie like marathons and runs and events. Like Vineyards do them a lot.
Oh yeah.
They like do a mile, have a load of wine, do another mile, have a load of wine, and like cheeses and stuff. I don't know how these people do the eating and drinking silly amounts and running. I'd immediately stitch.
Yeah, definitely.
Whilst we're talking about the Americans' relationship with bacon, I didn't realise that New York has a really special history with pork production and bacon. So
New pork.
Yeah, new pork. So we think that pigs were taken over to America by a Spanish explorer called Hernando de Soto, who brought 13 pigs in the 1500s, part of the Columbian Exchange.
So that's 6 breeding pairs and 1 to watch.
13th wheel.
one for him.
Anyway, so because they were delicious, indigenous people loved pork as well. And like pigs just proliferated across America really quickly.
No natural predators.
Well, not until we came along.
So yeah, and they were also really important food and livestock for poor people because they were easy to feed. They'll eat all of your waste.
That's true.
Was it the case that they were basically, if you went to New York, they were kind of all over the street and they were running around? And I guess it was almost like some countries where they have loads of stray dogs and cats, or like the monkeys in Gibraltar or wherever it is. I think like New York just had pigs everywhere.
Yeah,
I can't believe we don't see this in history in like films more often.
So rich New Yorkers started getting really annoyed about the pig problem, how many pigs there were just roaming around the city, and they thought that humans should be doing this cleanup job instead. So what they did as part of the gentrification of New York, they literally just like pushed these pigs further and further out to the outskirts of the city. Like there were still kind of pigs wandering around, but like much further in a much further radius, which was really fucked up because these were like a lifeline for poor families in the city. If you had your own pigs, you could feed yourself really easily. You could make bacon, which lasts for a really long time. Or if you're really like in the shit, you could just sell a pig to a butcher. And because pork is in such high demand, you have like money instantly. And by getting rid of the pigs in New York, they basically made a working class that was really dependent on their employers. So like wealth inequality and social inequality got worse because you kind of took away the working class independence. It was really messed up.
And then they put one in the White House.
Well, in the 1800s, Charles Dickens went over to New York and he wrote basically an essay about how many pigs there were in the city and how crazy it was. So he says, they are never attended upon or fed or driven or caught. They're thrown to their own devices early in life. They're just like all over the place, roaming the streets, eating.
They were like, hey, I'm pork in here.
Very nice.
Time now for our second lunchbox, and that is Manu.
I have brought my perfect breakfast. Which
really?
is 2 fried eggs, 3 rashers of bacon, and some cigarettes. Balanced breakfast.
I will say right straight out the bat as well is that Manu was making this breakfast before the podcast started and asked me how I'd like it displayed as the producer, and I said I'll let you have creative freedom on that. And you've cooked 2 eggs and some bacon and not made a smiley face. And I actually just think like I don't understand why, so I'm just going to make that happen now.
Okay, you go for it. Ah, beautiful. So bacon and eggs, particularly bacon, is like the quintessential American breakfast because one dude decided it was going to be, which is so rare in the history of food. Normally, like, it takes generations of things to develop and then dishes to become a staple. There's a man called Edward Bernays who is...
Edward Bernays?
Yeah.
Did he also do the sauce?
He did not. So, unfortunately, it's Bernays.
Oh, okay.
But he is dubbed the father of public relations, the father of PR. He's an American dude. And there's a fantastic documentary on him by Adam Curtis in 2002 called The Century of the Self. It basically explores his influence on modern life, which is immense.
Really?
Bernays was Freud's nephew.
So he'll also be related to Matthew Freud, the really big PR person.
Oh, Freud.
Who runs Freud's,
Funny.
the PR agency.
I guess so.
Wow.
So using his uncle's theories of psychoanalysis, he developed a way to kind of like manipulate the public mind. And big companies would come to him and ask how to sell specific products.
That's so cool. His uncle came up with psychology and then the nephew monetized it. That's so clever.
Is that? I feel like he's being really proactive. So in the 1920s, he was hired by a beech nut packing company who sold peanut butter, sweets, soup, and bacon. But the bacon wasn't selling very well. Classic combination.
It's a real,
So the beech nut packing company came to him and was like, what do we do with all this bacon? Like, we need to sell it. Help Bernays. And he...
if only there was some kind of craze.
So he went and had a think. And he was like, okay, American people, they're not eating heavy breakfasts. Normally they're having something like orange juice or coffee or like a bit of cereal.
Breakfast cereal, yeah.
Exactly.
They're also, because they're always rushing out the door, like in every movie. Like they're always like, bye kids, I'm busy, I'm overworked.
There's always that huge like platter of gorgeous food, and then the guy's
dad's always like grabbing a piece of toast.
Like,
I've clearly got something to learn about family values in the next 90 minutes. The woman's just left there thinking, what the fuck am I going to do with all this food?
She eats it. She definitely eats it. So he was like, okay, how do we get people to eat more? How do we get them to eat heavy breakfasts?
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, who do people listen to? Doctors.
Okay.
So he advised that this company go to doctors and ask whether they thought that having a more kind of protein-rich, heavier breakfast was healthier compared to kind of like the light orange juicy, not very substantial. Anyway.
And when you phrase it like that.
Exactly. So they did the survey. They contacted about 5,000 American physicians, and about 4,500 of them wrote back saying, yes, obviously it's better to eat a proper, nutritious, heavy breakfast. And they spun this and were like, 4,500 doctors agree you should eat bacon for breakfast. And then they ran with it and it became this massive thing. And people actually, because it was being advised by doctors, clocked onto it and started eating more bacon. It was an overnight success. It was amazing. So the reason I brought cigarettes with me is because Bernays did a very similar thing with smoking.
Really?
So he
You're
was
kidding.
No,
he's like the guy who invented ozone and
Yeah,
Thomas
I know.
Midgley.
Thomas
yeah.
Midgley. He's the
mad.
Thomas Midgley
so
of food.
he was the person that got women smoking because for ages it was like not the done thing. It was associated with like looser women or sex
It's like
workers.
rebellious. and-
So with cigarettes, what he did was he decided to get a load of suffragettes
Oh.
to take cigarettes with them on a march and got the press to take loads of photos of these women smoking.
Did they call them drag queens?
You're
No, he called the cigarettes torches of freedom. And
I've heard
women,
that.
young women were like, "Oh, this is great!" Like instead of becoming a symbol of kind of immorality, it became a symbol of like rebellion and strength.
Freedom.
Well, I guess if the men were all smoking, then it's just like wearing trousers. It becomes like we're doing the masculine
I want to
thing.
do what they're doing. Yeah.
Exactly. So bacon and cigs. There you go.
I want to vote on the ballot paper by putting my cigarette out on my candidate. I really want.
But there's also another quite dark connection between bacon and cigarettes. In your research,
I suppose all these light, fun ones
yeah,
we've been
no,
talking
I
about.
love it. Have you come across the nitrite problem in bacon?
No, go on. Tell me what that is.
The WHO, the World Health Organization.
Who?
The,
Sorry. Sorry.
that was so annoying.
I've been
It was
interrupting you so much.
Fantastic. They all put processed meats that contain nitrites, like bacon, in the same category as asbestos and smoking in things that give you cancer.
Oh.
It's
So it's
So it's basically it's on the
carcinogenic.
hit list, basically.
Yeah, it's really bad for you. So basically, nitrites in processed meats, they prevent the growth of nasties, like the bacteria that causes botulism.
But not the nasty that causes the cancer.
Exactly. But there's a really strong link between nitrite use and colon cancer. So there's loads of people who are trying to get people to make nitrite-free bacon, which is a really important thing.
How do you do that?
I think it's the kind of salts that you cure the meat in.
Yes.
Oh,
there
yeah,
is
it's all other nitrite salt, isn't it?
there is a way to do it that doesn't contain nitrite salt, and it's a lot healthier.
Because nitrites are a bit of a shortcut. They make it look pink as well, which is a selling point. It also, because no one wants to eat like grey bacon, it's just a cheaper way to, I think it takes less time to cure maybe. I mean, we didn't know they were bad for a long time, but we're starting to find the strong links between
Pretty bad.
bowel and colon cancer and then nitrites.
Yeah.
So
So if you can avoid meats that have been processed with E249, potassium nitrite, or E250, sodium nitrite,
Those are my two favourite E numbers.
you will be doing your gut a favour, probably.
my favourite is E620.
Was that MSG?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I actually can't believe you know some E numbers off my heart.
That's the only one.
It's the best number. So yeah, that's how the Great American
Wow, fascinating.
Breakfast.
So it's all from this one guy who sort of spun the
Edward Bernays.
On like bacon and kind of public perception and manipulation, post Bernays during World War II, in the same way that when like Britain had a big drive to try and get women to donate old pots and pans for the war effort so they could use the metal, the US were trying to get American women to send in their bacon fat.
Oh.
There's a Disney propaganda cartoon that you can watch online.
Really?
More
And-
propaganda.
Yeah.
Nice.
and the voiceover says, a skillet of bacon grease is a little munitions factory. Every year, 2 billion pounds of waste kitchen fats are thrown away, enough glycerin for 10 billion rapid-fire cannon shells. So they were extracting the glycerin from the bacon fat. And they said that bacon fat should be strained and collected in a can, and then you take it to a butcher or a meat dealer, and you get 4 cents a pound for the fat.
Oh, damn.
But I think nobody really participated in any big way because I think they were already using the fat at home, and also all the men were away, so women were really pretty stretched and they didn't really have time for this shit.
true.
Like, so it wasn't really very successful. But yeah, like the government has a lot to say about bacon, guys.
Speaking of bacon and death,
Yes.
this is just a little snippet. In one of Brighton's cemeteries, there was a Robert Bacon buried next to a Florence egg.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But wait, there isn't bacon in eggs Florentine.
Oh, Florence egg.
If you can
No,
find
you're
if you
right.
can find Robert Bacon buried next to a
Benedict's egg.
Benedict egg, that would be better.
I'll dig in. I'll do some more research. If you don't hear from me from a week, that's what I'm doing.
Right.
Did you realise that in America in 1973, the government had to mandate bacon windows?
What?
What do you think a bacon window is?
I'm a bacon Mac man, so I only use apple bacon. Is it like the Overton window, where it's like the amount of acceptable breakfast, what's acceptable for breakfast shifts over time?
how like burnt you like your bacon is, the bacon
What's
window.
the bacon window?
I mean, it's much more literal than that. It's basically, American bacon is usually streaky. So they're strips, you can picture them, they've got like parallel layers of fat.
Yeah.
And then the one at the top is like the big layer of fat. So what manufacturers were doing, they were stacking them on top of each other, but overlapping slightly, so that the bottom of the one higher up was covering the lower one's fat layer.
Oh, so they were hiding the fat.
They're
Basically.
basically hiding the fat, and they would stack up like 10 rashers or whatever, and then over the top one where you couldn't hide the fat because it was the top one, they would just put the whole label. So the effect was you couldn't see how fatty the bacon was because fat was something of a turn-off. This is the sort of era of like low-fat everything,
I see.
which we now know is not very good for you because they were replacing it with sugar. And anyway, the US government got involved in 1973 and they drew up some legislation so that now you have to have a transparent opening to reveal at least 70% of the length. So basically, they mandated the bacon window. You can flip your packet to see a representative slice and see how fatty it is. Thanks, FDA.
Time for our third and final lunchbox, and that is mine.
Ooh.
And I have brought
Ooh.
a bacon alternative. And this is bananacon. How do I say it?
Need some work.
No, because it's not a banana, it's a banana. So it's bananacon. Bananacon.
Bananacon.
I think bananacon.
Okay.
I've got bananacon. And I thought I'd bring some alternatives to classic
Yeah,
bacon.
because you don't like it.
Exactly. And I don't think I'm going to like this one either. I'll be honest with you. I haven't tried it yet. It is literally banana skins that have been peeled and the banana's been scraped off. And then I've marinated them in a mixture or concoction of soy sauce, maple syrup, and smoked paprika.
Oh, nice. Okay, so there's a bit more effort in than I was expecting.
Oh, yeah. And then they're fried just like bacon.
It smells.
Manu's trying hers.
It's actually not that bad.
You say that about everything, Jack.
Okay,
I need a
I'm gonna
real
put
opinion.
The whole thing in all at once. It's very much not bacon, but it's tasty. That's all right, yeah.
Yeah.
See?
I mean, I think part of the problem, is it's so floppy still.
Yeah,
If it was
that's true.
harder.
It's quite fun.
Add some carcinogens. Then you
Oh, we love it. I'm going to get the cigarettes back out.
This is maybe the beginning of my journey to try and find an alternative to bacon that I like. I certainly am not picking this one. I was looking up all the different kinds of faken, as they're
Oh,
often
nice.
called.
Yep.
That's a better name.
And,
Love
you
the
get the
faken.
classic, the ones made of wheat or soy, which are mixed up and squashed into bacon shapes and then extruded
pink, yeah.
and then dyed pink and then given fake streaks. And you're just
Very
like, you are putting all the effort into making something that looks like bacon, and I really don't think it tastes anything like bacon. But there are quite a lot of different types.
Yeah, there's macon, lamb bacon.
Oh, is that
Why
must
is
be
that-
mutton bacon? So
Mutton.
the
I was
Emerson
gonna
mutton?
ask, yeah.
Mutton
why is it called
bacon. So it's cuts of lamb that are taken from a similar place as pork bacon, so the fattier belly cut. And it's quite popular in Muslim countries. Where you
even
can't
though
eat bacon.
I read it was a Scottish dish.
It is a Scottish dish.
Not
that
there
was-
aren't Muslims in Scotland, but there hasn't been historically.
but they actually promoted it in the UK during the Second World War as a kind of ration food. So I was looking at faken. Came across this paper by some researchers in Finland.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at why people still hate vegan.
Okay.
Apart from the fact, like, this is objectively a very bad dish. But you can you can eat delicious food as a vegan, and they're just like you and me. They're really lovely. They're all great. So this study was actually looking at the perceptions of vegan people rather than vegan food.
Okay.
So what they did is they got people to judge a load of like imaginary shopping lists. And the only thing that changed on these lists was whether they included animal products or not. And they found that people judged the plant-based lists like really harshly. They imagined that they belonged to people who were like more moral and health conscious than others.
Wait, more moral?
Yeah.
Surely that should be
Exactly.
seen as a good thing.
Yeah, but it did the opposite. It kind of turned
Maybe that
people.
shows my biases.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But it's just like it's like the opposite of bacon mania,
yeah,
right?
true.
Like people connect and have a bit of joy over fun over like how we're drinking and we're smoking weed versus like judging the people who are doing like quote unquote better and more moral and better for the planet.
But that was exactly right. So they think that one of the reasons why people judge vegans harshly is that they make us feel bad about ourselves because we know we should be eating like this or reducing our meat intake and we don't. So instead we lash out at the people who are making us feel bad. And then the other thing is because there are still all of these negative associations around veganism and eating plant-based diets, there's like a kind of in and out group, and we realize the vegans still have a bit of bad press and we don't want to be associated with that, so we go even more the other way. So it's kind of to do with like group identity as well, which is really interesting. But it's mad that this still happens today.
Well, I think it is because everyone's always like, what's our generation's racism going to be? Like, our generation thinks it's okay, and then by the time we're 80, all of our grandkids are getting very upset because we won't let it go. And the obvious one is always vegetarianism, veganism. We're going to be like, that's
They'll
going to
be
be
like,
acceptable.
Grandpa, didn't you know that they were suffering? And we'd be like, well, yeah, we did, but we just sort of didn't care.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, you know.
Yeah.
But because we know that's coming, we're already being like, piss off. I want to live my life. Like we're like
Get your bacon while you
we're
can.
like pre-backlashing.
Yeah. Well, whilst I was doing this research, me and my partner was making sausages in the kitchen, and there was so much meat everywhere.
Yeah,
So
if you want to know how like
Yeah.
morally corrupt Manu is, she's dating a fucking butcher.
Yeah. So sorry, vegans.
I feel like there is a future where we can all live in harmony and happiness, and it doesn't involve us compromising, which is the only way for us to be happy and live in harmony.
Innovation, that's what we
Yeah.
need.
Stem cell bacon. It's the only way forward, guys. Stem cells.
wow.
I think they need some marketing there.
So is
Yes,
this
they're
like,
going to need to come up with a nice name and a
Yeah.
pretend farm and a pretend farmer so the waitress can put it on their
Edward
packaging.
Bernays.
so is
Yeah.
this like lab grown?
Yeah, it's growing
what?
pig stem cells in bioreactors to make muscle and fat tissue.
Wow.
So they're never conscious or alive animals. They're literally just like raw
Yeah.
meat grown by the rasher. Much more environmentally friendly. It's using a lot less land and lower emissions and no slaughtering. It's very, very, very early stages. But
There might be some animal suffering. I mean, how does their stem cell arrive?
That's true, but potentially, I guess you only need one donation, and then
Yeah,
you can grow.
yeah,
It's
that's
like
true.
we need a Henrietta lack of pigs.
Yeah.
who can.
It's a bit like I'm
Let's
sure
make a
I've
too niche
mentioned.
That
reference
was
for
a
anyone.
very niche reference.
There's also even maybe more natural. There's a type of algae that cooks into something that kind of tastes like bacon.
Ooh,
Okay.
Is it green?
No, it's red. It's red. It's a type of red marine algae called dulse. I think dulce. Dulce. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
It's in Northern Irish
Yeah,
dishes, isn't it?
it's like so. It's been around for a really long time. People in coastal regions, in Ireland and Iceland and bits of Scotland, they've eaten it for at least 1,000 years. It's mentioned in medieval texts and things like that. But in 2015, scientists discovered a new strain of it, and it's quite fast growing, so it's farmable. Oregon State University are studying it, and basically when you fry it, it tastes like bacon, apparently.
Oh,
And
I
they discovered
like
it by accident because
Okay.
they were trying to
Oh
cultivate.
no, I dropped my bacon. I'm on the coast.
But they were trying to make fish food, like a potential green kind of aquaculture
ice cream.
sauce, and fried it. Someone tasted it. I don't know how you accidentally go. Like somebody had to taste the fish food as like a
true.
so.
I read all about the Dunmow Flitch trials. Have you heard of these guys?
Oh, I have.
So there's like a village, it's very near Stansted Airport actually, it's in Essex, called Great Dunmow. And they've had this tradition for 900 years. And we don't actually know when it started, but basically Geoffrey Chaucer was talking about it in his Canterbury Tales of the 1380s or 90s, right? So 14th century at least. And he doesn't explain what it is, i.e., he expects the reader to understand. But basically, it's kind of a test of your fidelity. So nobody really knows where it starts. The legend is that there was like a landowner who wanted to, dressed as a pauper and then managed to convince someone that they should stay married, and he gave them a flitch of bacon. So basically, a flitch is an old English term for a whole half of a pig. You then scoop out the inners and
Which half?
and well, either half. Oh, you mean left
The
or right or
left.
top or
It's
bottom?
left or right, I guess,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is left or right. So you, a bit macabre, but you slice it down the middle.
So you
down
get a
the
bit of
nose.
everything.
You get a bit of everything, yeah. But like, this is a phenomenal wealth in sort of 1380s. So in order to win this flitch of bacon, you had to prove to a jury that you and your wife had been happily married for a year and a day and not had any impure thoughts or regret. And yeah, basically the thing died out around the 1750s.
So it briefly died out and they went from Flitch trials to witch trials and then back to Flitch trials again.
But it was rekindled in the 1850s by a book which was called A Flitch of Bacon. And this kind of was a big popular success. And it became much more like a mock trial in the 1800s. And it's a tradition that may well have existed across England, but has died out everywhere except in Dunmow. But yeah, it happens every leap year. It was kind of often used as a sort of misogynist joke platform. So in 1714, The Spectator, which I didn't realise was quite so old, said that only two people...
Spectator. I can't even remember what spec means now. I've forgotten what spec means, but like...
Anyway, they said that only two people had won the Flitch in the last century, quoting... The first was a sea captain and his wife, who since the day of marriage had not seen each other till the day of the flame. Ha ha ha. And the second was an honest pair in the neighbourhood. The husband was a man of plain good sense and peaceable temper. The woman was mute.
God.
Wow. So there's an oath, and it dates from 1751, and you have to say it at the Dunmow Flitch trials.
Oh, and have you got it?
I've got it here.
Oh, let's read it out at the end.
Yeah, let's do.
Nice.
We'll all swear the oath.
There's like a film of the 1950s starring Petula Clark, who I didn't realise was still alive. She sung Downtown.
Yeah, she's still alive now. Wow.
92. And then there's also a short-lived game show in 1965 on Southern TV.
Oh, this is back in the regional days.
Basically,
It's
like I looked at the map and Southern TV basically covered like East Dorset and Hampshire and West Sussex and a little bit of Surrey.
Ooh.
So it's basically like the area around the Isle of Wight inland. And it was called the 7-Year Flitch.
Nice. Very good. Very good Southern TV.
Beautiful.
That is it for this week's edition of Lunchbox Envy.
You can follow our socials for foodie facts and podcast updates. We are on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Lunchbox Envy Pod.
Yeah, that's right. And you can also get in touch and send us your facts, recipes, and questions by emailing us. Lunchbox@qi.com is the address.
We will leave you with the German word Kummerspeck, which describes weight that you put on from eating too much when feeling sorry for yourself. And it literally translates as grief bacon. But I think to play us out, Jack, will you read us the full oath from the Dunmow Flitch trials?
Oh, with pleasure. Which accent would you like?
I want West Country, please.
You shall swear by the custom of our confession that you never made any nuptial transgression. Guys, compose yourself. Okay. Since you were married, man and wife, by household brawls or contentious strife, or otherwise in bed or at board, offended each other in deed or in word, or since the parish clerk said amen, wished yourselves unmarried again, or in a 12-month and a day, repented not in thought in any way, but continued true and in desire, as when you joined hands in holy choir. If to these conditions, without all fear, of your accord, you will freely swear. I'm losing it. A gammon of bacon you shall receive, and bear it hence with love and good leave. For this is our custom at Dunmow well known. Though the sport be ours, the bacon's your own.
Aww. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Lunchbox Envy was hosted by Jack Chambers, Manu Henriot, and produced by me, Alex Bell. This has been a quite interesting podcast.